When it comes to making videos, I'm sure a lot of people have said that gear doesn't matter, but they're wrong. And in today's video, I'm gonna prove it by doing a year in review of the camera that made me want to make more videos, the Sony ZVE10 Mark I. Let me start off by saying that gear absolutely does matter. If a camera doesn't inspire you to pick it up, you're not gonna bring it with you. Or if you feel like it's too expensive or you want to baby it, it's too delicate, you're not going to bring it with you even if it does inspire you. If you want to get started in making videos, you need a camera that inspires you but still delivers on quality. Something that's lightweight but can still get the job done. And for me, that camera has been the Sony ZVE10 Mark I. For all of 2024, this camera has been my daily driver and go-to. And even though it's coming up on 4 years, the specs and results I'm getting out of this camera still inspire me to pick it up almost every single day. It features a 24 megapixel crop sensor, shoots 4K 30 in 8-bit color, and we'll come back to this. It shoots slo-mo 120 and has access to Sony's picture profiles, an articulating screen, and the ability to change lenses. Many people believe that Sony's ZV line was the follow-up and replacement to their RX line, you know, the point and shoots that don't have interchangeable lenses. But I actually believe that Sony was following a wave of creating video-first cameras for vloggers that actually deliver. And I can vouch that this little camera punches way above its weight class in terms of size and price. Now, I'd be straight up lying to you if I told you that this camera was perfect. It's not, it's actually far from. There's the rolling shutter issue, the banding in photos, the 8-bit color, and while it didn't bother me much, others complain of the buttons on this thing. Rolling shutter is basically when you see movement in the camera, the footage kind of looks wobbly or like jello. And if you're someone who's gonna handhold all of their shots with the camera like this, or even wave it around a bit, this might be an issue for you. To combat this, I highly suggest investing in a small gimbal or even a tripod to lock off your shots and not introduce that much movement. I also have seen videos and reviews on YouTube of people using Catalyst Browse to correct this issue after the fact. If none of those will work for you, I highly recommend putting it into the active stabilization mode, even though it adds a bit of a crop to your footage. And it is for this exact reason that I actually don't recommend walking around with this camera, holding it out, vlog, selfie style like this, unless you don't care about rolling shutter. And most people won't. I actually carried this camera around, I walked around with it, I filmed handheld footage with it, and those type of things don't really bother me for the types of videos that I'm making, especially the personal kind. Man, it's windy. But if you are creating client work or you're making videos for other people, it may become a distraction. It may be something that other people pick up and notice, and you might not want to use this camera for that purpose. Similarly, the point of 8-bit color comes up a lot when people start talking about this camera and what it can do. And I'll say for professional settings, you might not be using this camera because of the 8-bit color. However, if you're shooting things for social media or YouTube or low pressure situations, then 8-bit color is completely fine. I've been shooting in it all year long and I really haven't had an issue. But if you're someone who's interested in dipping their toe into color grading or shooting with log profiles, this camera can do that. It has access to S-Log2, S-Log3, HLG3, and Cine. And if those things sound completely foreign to you, you don't have to shoot in those profiles. I've been shooting in a standard color profile, throwing on a LUT and adding a little bit of color correction in Premiere Pro and calling it a day. And if you've gone back and watched any of the videos on this channel before this year, you'll know that this does just fine. And as an aside, I have gotten a few comments on this channel that says that my colors could look better, my video quality could be a little bit better. But honestly, those things aren't conducive to me because I'm making these videos for YouTube. I'm not making this for a client. It's not being aired on TV or anything like that. And so those things don't really bother me. And that's kind of my whole point. If you're trying to upgrade from cell phone quality up to something just a little bit better, this camera definitely delivers on that. No one cares if you shoot your family vlog in 10-bit color. No one cares that you shot it in S-Log and edited with all of these color profiles and LUTs and all these extra things. If you are trying to get a start in content creation and you want your footage to just look a tiny bit better than an iPhone without having to buy adapters and play with all of those other extra features, I think this camera will do excellent for you. I think camera and tech folks can be a little bit more analytical, and I bring it on myself because I'm in this niche, but I don't think that the average person or average viewer or average or beginner content creator needs to go all out. They only need a tool that inspires them and gets the job done. For me, that tool is the Sony ZVE10. This camera has been in my bag almost every day of this year, and I'm constantly pulling it out to capture moments, behind the scenes footage, and create these YouTube videos. I absolutely love it for what it is, and I prefer to record footage on this over my phone. There's one more thing I want to talk about with this camera, and that is the photo quality. This camera is primarily a video camera. It's marketed as a video camera and a vlog camera. It does have the option to take photos. In fact, I made a whole video about it earlier this year. I'll be honest, the lack of an EVF does hinder this from being my go-to backup photo camera, but I will say that the sensor size and the quality have nothing to do with this camera's performance. This camera has a great sensor. It performs excellent. It has great quality images. I just wish it had an EVF or an attachable EVF or something. As a photo first person, I prefer to hold the camera up to my eye, and I can't exactly do that with this camera. I will say it does have one thing over the ZVE10 Mark II if you want to use it for photos, and that is that this camera still has a mechanical shutter in it. The ZVE10 Mark II does not have a mechanical shutter. It only has an electronic shutter. And if you're in tricky lighting situations, you're not using natural light, you're using maybe a flash, or you're relying on fluorescent or indoor lights, things can get a little tricky. I actually found myself pulling out this camera and taking more pictures with it than I thought I would. It shoots raw, so you have the flexibility to edit your photos how you want. And if you can get past using the screen, I mean, most younger people or people who are used to picking up cameras like this are gonna be used to tapping on a screen. But if you can get used to that, then I think that this camera does excellent for photos as well. Editing layer here, I just wanted to take a moment and say that this camera can also be used as a webcam, and you don't need any special software or anything. All you really need is a USB-C cable, and thanks to the people over at Xcool, I now have one that I can use just about anywhere. So the folks over at Xcool reached out to ask if I wanted to test out their new 8-in-1 cable, and I can say that I've used this thing for the past couple days, and it is amazing. So first, you'll notice it's got this funky little cap on here. So what this does is it pops up and reveals an underside cap, and then you just click it back on. So it has USB-A, pop that off, USB-C, pop that back on, Lightning, pop that off, and USB-C. This thing is 5 foot long, so it's able to reach pretty much whatever I need it to reach. It is magnetic, so if I start coiling it like this, I can hold it like this. It features 240 watt fast charging, so if you need to charge something super fast, or you have a brick that supports that, you can plug it in via the USB-A or the USB-C, and then plug in your Lightning device, like my Beats headphones still use a Lightning port or USB-C. So if I need to charge my AirPods or my Raycons or any other headphones that use USB-C nowadays, this thing can fast charge them. When it comes to that webcam support, it also supports streaming in 4K 60. So normally you need to, buy a decently priced cable in order to, you know, go ahead and stream at the highest quality. Most of those cheaper cables don't support that high quality streaming, or it throttles it a little bit. This cable, you will not have that issue. This is a very sturdy material. I don't see this like coming undone or disconnected anytime soon, as long as I keep it, you know, nice and neat, which the magnets in it really help you do. So if you want to check this out, you can check it out down at the link in the description, or you can also pick it up on Amazon. I'll put a link down there for that as well. Thank you again to the guys at Xcool. I really appreciate it. This cable is now living in my bag. I will bring it, you know, to charge my computer, to charge my phone, to charge my headphones. And, you know, I don't really need to bring a different cable. I might need to pick up another one of these, so I'll have multiple, but this is pretty much the only cable I'll need for, I'm hoping, a really long time. And now, back to the video. I hope you've been enjoying the footage I've been throwing up during this video. All of it has been shot with the Sony ZVE10 Mark I, except for this video. This video is actually shot with my Sony a7 III so that I could hold up this camera and, you know, display it and talk about it with you. All of the footage that is shot of the ZVE10 Mark I also shot with the Sony a7 III. I can honestly say I have no plans of upgrading anytime soon unless Sony or someone else decides to send me a new camera. Sony, I'm looking at you. But after a year of heavy use, this camera is an absolute beast. I take it with me everywhere. It has come on every single trip that I've been on this year. It comes with me on dates. It comes with me on weekend trips. It comes with me everywhere. And so, you know, after a year of heavy use, I can honestly say that I would recommend this camera to anyone who is looking to get started in content creation, anyone looking to get started just picking up a camera to document their life with. If you want to pick up one of these for yourself, there is an affiliate link down in the description below. I would appreciate you using that. It helps support this channel. I really hope that you find a camera that inspires you to pick it up and document your life or start your content creation journey. For me, it has been this one. So if you enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks that you'll like this one next, so check that out. Remember to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. I'm so happy to answer anything. Until next time, remember to do the work, believe in yourself, and most importantly, keep creating. Peace.